Testing, testing. Hello, hello. Hello, radio. Alright, this is probably going to be the last time I'm going to record anything about this anymore because they've pretty much got it locked down, sealed up, and covered up. So you're not going to see anything really from here anymore. These cameras have been adjusted, and now Gamble's southeast camera's off. So the one next door, the south camera was off. Now southeast of the one next door is off. They're obviously blocking something. So there's no more reason to keep recording this. These are those two pipes we see at night with the big flares coming off them. There is nothing on this island. Look, you can see what would be causing these lights. There's nothing. Okay, now that camera's down. Let's see what south showed. I don't even know why. I'm just gonna do this one last time for the record. Here, all the photos deleted. Look at this. Look, it's ridiculous. They've deleted probably 6, 7, 8 hours of photos. So they give you a couple crumbs. I don't even know why they did this. Here's that night runway. They give you one little blast of light. They cut the rest. Here's another color of that same light. Another color. And then here they're in the process right now of deleting this one. Here's that ball. Shows up every night at a certain time. The rest are cut. The first night we had this all the way across. Same ball. All the way across. With all the different lights and so forth. So they leave you one or two crumbs. I don't even know why. Here's that pole. There's no light out here. This should not be lighting up this light pole right here. And then boom, you're in daytime. So it goes from 7:30 all the way to 9:50. 2 hours cut right there. They are cutting the shit out of these pictures. Why? If there's nothing to hide, they would not be going through all this trouble of real-time editing this camera. Now, about a half hour ago, when I was setting all this up, that line went all the way across. There wasn't two lines, but you had pictures all the way to here. So they've already deleted these in the last half hour. There was more across. So they're deleting this in live time. And you're left with 5:42 in the morning to 11. There's 6 hours and one picture per hour? Roughly? It's supposed to be one every 10 minutes. That shows you the deceit, the lying, all in real time. And then when the shit gets real funky, they just turn it off. Look at here. They leave you with 4 pictures for 24 hours. Here you go. Here you go, people. You're paying for this, by the way. These are government cameras. Turned off for your pleasure. That's it. That's it. So what the hell is going on in Alaska right now that we are not allowed to see with any of these cameras? This is not just today. This is not just yesterday. We caught this back on the 27th. And it's been nonstop. However, they're getting really good at covering the shit up. They just delete it. There should be 2 rows of photos up here. Every 10 minutes. 2 rows of photos up there. Do you see it? No. Not good, people. This is... Forget the arguing about what any of the objects are. The fact that you're deleting it almost guarantees you there's something to worry about. Or there's something they just don't want you to be educated about. It's one or the other. Or they're setting up their little sky show they're going to do, and this is where they're testing it. And a couple idiots like me have accidentally stumbled across it, so now they got to turn the cameras off. I mean, it could be that. They could be doing night training, and they're turning it off. And then that is what it is. But that's the only things it can be. But that's not the only things it could be. It could be a lot more. But those are the things that come to my mind. Military, God. That's about it. When it comes to shit like this, it's one or the other. And one is trying to outdo the other. So that's what scares me. When you have psychopaths that think they could redo what's already been made for us to enjoy. All we have to do is kick back, if you wanted to, as a human, as an animal, and you could have ate off the ground, you could have ate off trees, you could eat whatever. We could have just been nice to each other. Nah, we don't want to do it. We got to make it hard for ourselves, right? Why do what God laid everything out, and then we just spend all our time trying to redo it? It's already there. Enjoy it. God gave you all this, and then a handful of you want to redo it, re-engineer it, rebuild what God. What are you, nuts? Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. But then, you're not. I am, right? Because I'm like, why are you doing this? And since I say, why are you doing this? You say, I'm an idiot. Don't question anybody, right? This is all they're giving you. 4 or 5 pictures, dude. This isn't even funny. This is scary because they're deleting everything now. All these little light anomalies, the sun falling apart in the afternoon, that's all gone now. We should be picking that up right now. Gone. But it's okay, right? Because if you ignore it, it'll be fine. Oh my. All 3 cameras of the 4, because I'm surprised East is up. 3 of the 4 cameras here are offline. Really? They're just having so many camera problems all of a sudden that they all go down? Really? I bet you this one's got 1 or 2 pictures. Let's take a look. Oh! 2 pictures of the sun. Really? That's it. There's your every 10-minute snapshot. The rest are off. If nobody says anything, then you deserve this. You deserve it. Because sitting there and just ignoring shit, even if it's bad, you should tell people. If it's not bad and it's testing a shit, then tell us. Or lie to people and say, yeah, we're doing some new space age crap with the new Space Force. Whatever. People would buy that up in a second. Yeah, don't worry about that. This is us testing the Spaceman division. It looks like there's shit coming off the sun there, by the way. Where was the sun before this? I just want to know. Here's 9:52, and you gotta go all the way to 8 o'clock. That's 2 hours earlier. Where'd it go? Why can't I see the sunrise here anymore? Really? Do you care? You should. Whether you believe in anything is wrong or anything is weird or anything, you should have a problem with these screens being turned off. There's where your problem should be with. Because you're not adult enough to see this. You're not. This is like a parent saying you're not 12, so you can't see a PG movie or whatever it is, PG-13, whatever the hell it is. Just not old enough, Johnny. Not old enough. You can't see what's behind these cameras. Well, we did see what was behind those cameras, and we also saw that they were then hiding the north-south view of these cameras, so you couldn't verify anything. So I'm not even gonna really probably bother with. Look at this. They're all down. Really? Oh, I wasn't gonna do this. Oh, we got one. There's no sun. Okay, so now they're clipping the sun out of the whole day. So either they're all down, or there's no sun. There's not even an east camera here. What? They're turning. Remember yesterday we found one camera aiming at the ocean water? They tipped it down. Just to be funny, I guess. They're moving the cameras now. Wow. Wow. These fools. Oh, just so happens all of them are down. Do you think something's not going on? I bet you there's 2 pictures of the sun. Let's see. Oh, this one's got... Oh! Are they replaying the day before? Let's take a look. Because the sun started rising right here. Let me show you where they're lying to you. The sun at 5:40 in the morning, right? 5:50, right? That looks like the sun coming up, right? Now notice it's right above this antenna, right? Here is hours later. Here it comes. Here's before. Here's later. Before. Oh, no. Those are lights. Oh, thank God. These are lights. Oh, man. I would have gone nuts. These are lights on the runway. New view, by the way. That wasn't there like that before. All right. That's my... See, I'll admit when I'm stupid. Those are freaking lights, stupid. Look at... What got me confused is the orange in the background. Matches the orange of the light. See this? When you're looking at these tabs up here, does that not look like the sun coming up? It does. I'm still stupid, but it did look like that. Now, here we get sunrise coming from the left. Let's just play this through. It's the only one they've given us all day. Here, it's a round ball. Interesting. This almost looks real. The weird thing is there's no lines anymore. There's no warping anymore. So how did they fix that? There had to be a focus problem with their camera. And that's why the other ones are down. They're fixing all those cameras, or they're putting filters in so you don't see these colors. We were seeing colors. Here, there's only 2 cameras. We're seeing colors that didn't exist before. Let's take a look here. So we got mud on this camera. Just gonna play it through. Did that go down and then up? I hope that's my imagination. There's the line. See? There's that sharp line. Yeah, weird. Very weird. And east. Did we just do this one? Look at the beads in there. That was happening that first couple of days too. Then just buried in these clouds. Very cloudy up there. Let's go to the East Coast. Let's try here. Why is the west camera picking it up? That don't make sense. We'll go right onto the lake. There we go. This is the one with that funky fish hook looking weird worm. And then we get the play buttons here. Now, there's 2 full rows. Let's see what it looks like. That's right when it transitions to the 6-sided object. Right on that left side of that screen. We've caught this one before. What makes it go from round to that 6-sided object? You'll see it here. And there's a little triangle there in the middle left. Watch. It's going to hit a spot here where it gets smaller. Coming right about now. Oh, there. Right there. What happens there? How does that happen? So you're right there, and then poof. We did this the other day. Poof. Gets smaller and stays smaller. That's 10 minutes later. And then 10 minutes later. And here you got all those weird play buttons in there. Well, we got a camera that showed something. But I don't see it warping. That is the one, though, that does always show the thing gets smaller. And it's on the ocean of Canada there, the tip. Only like 500 miles from the oceans of Lake Michigan. Alright, here we go. Southeast. Let's see if we get any sun here. Yeah, sun right up already. Let's take a look. The sun in those weird clouds. Very strange. I don't know. I'm just documenting it one last time because, you know, they've blocked the camera we know the best. The one on that island is totally messed up, and they've deleted everything off it. So it is what it is. And I'll go back to doing news. No sun here except right there. So a camera to watch. Used to watch the sun, no longer has the sun in its view. I guess they got to go out and recalibrate the camera. It's also looking at nothing except the back of a garage at the end of a runway. That just seems weird, but it's their cameras. They can do whatever they want. Let's look at the east view. Heck, you don't want to show weather conditions on a weather camera for pilots, right? If there's any pilots that live up there that see this, is this normal? Like, is this like this every year? Maybe I'm an idiot. I just missed this last year and the year before. And it could be. Maybe there's a technical problem with some of these cameras. There's all kinds of answers you can come up with. Any kind of theory. I could theorize it's, you know, little ant-men that do it, you know, whatever. But if there is a real answer, you know, like if it's a technical glitch, that would be nice to know. Give you a little peace of mind. Because I don't know. What's this? Oh, man, the camera's down. Really? Huh. So surprised. Let's try this little. This little doohickey looks like it's being blocked. Yeah. It's looking at water. And every picture looks the same. See this little mark? Watch this. I guess it's melting, maybe? Is that fresh snow? It looks like somebody pushed the camera down into a pile of snow. And what they told, go out there and move your cameras down towards the ground, please. No east cameras. Boy, is this strange. This ain't gonna, where's the east? How are you a pilot and not know each direction? That's what these are for. So how come cameras are missing now that shows the pilot what it looks like in every direction? See what I'm saying? Does anybody hear this? They just delete the other cameras and create a safety risk? Really? And all the channels say this is normal webbing on the screens. It's been happening forever. I never saw it, so that's just my opinion. It's not normal. If somebody tells you this is normal and doesn't give you any past views of it, like I can show you, and I've done it this year already. I played a video from 2017 that shows NASA changed the way the direction of the Earth is being hit, what it looks like, you know, with the space weather, right? Well, I can show you that, and I have, and I'll do it again. because I happen to have personally recorded it years ago, and now I replay it. And it's different. Just like this. If I had tape of this camera, like if I was watching these 2 years ago, like I was watching the space weather at the time, that was when the magnetic shield kept collapsing, everybody was saying, and all that stuff. That's when I got into that shit. So if I had done it, I'd say, look, folks, look, boom, 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 don't be afraid. This is normal. Every spring this happens. It's a weird, probably something to do with XYZ. Or another person would see a video of this and say, look, put in a note, blah, blah, blah. This is what's happening. But don't just tell me it's normal and believe me. Say, yeah, these are normal videos. That's what they tell their listeners. Those are just normal. Yeah, here's Matt Man's page. That's where I got the link from. Don't tell me it's just normal and say there's no proof, or no evidence, or no this, no that. Are we on the air? Yeah, we are. All right, good. Here's a real good picture of that one pole lit up. You see what I'm saying? Let me show you real quick what it was like a few days ago compared to today. That's when I lost Matt Man. See, Matt Man's video right here. It was in, they left 26 minutes up. This is why I couldn't find it. And I did a video yesterday that I couldn't find this video because I'm looking for the time limit. It was 26 minutes. It was all during this time period of these live cams when it was going crazy in the very beginning, and they cut that live stream out. And if you look on my side of it, it tells you I need to delete a file, and it's related to this. So only the first 14 minutes now are available. That's at least where I go over his video. I don't show his video, but I show you a picture of it, how he caught this X. I thought that was incredible. And now it ruined the whole presentation of it. Because then it went away, and now I just found it again after doing a video last night about losing this. And then it pops up in my live stream with 10 less or 12 less minutes on it. This should have been like a 2-hour video. I did these live cams that day. So, shout out to Matt, man. Apologize, it's like a surprise, kind of screwed up, but it's like I ruined a birthday surprise or something. But I wanted to do this, and then it was all gone until this morning. Now it's there. I don't know what they're doing. I had somebody trying to text me last night, and they were having problems with their text on their phone. I don't cover anything weird except for these cameras. And if that's weird enough to be messed with, then whatever. I just see that now they're deleting files. So when you go to the deletion and hiding of shit, now I'm like, nah, now we really got a problem. Don't know what the problem is. But the problem is you're hiding data, you're hiding, you're deleting, you're hiding, you're deleting, you're deleting. When they delete the emails, like, oh, speaking of deleting shit, hang on, let's go to the news real quick. It's enough of these cameras. It's disgusting what they're doing. What is this? Why do I... Lady in the mail. What the hell is this? Mar-a-Lago calendar in Chinese. What the heck is this? Feds are investigating possible Chinese spying at Mar-a-Lago. Oh my. They didn't investigate the one that was in the senator's office for 30 years. Why are they going to do this? Let's see. Her driver, remember? Yeah. 16-year inside man. Drove her everywhere. Chinese spy. But we were too busy with Russia. And now, wait, we can't talk about that no more because that has been all blown away. So, let's see what they go into now. Federal authorities are investigating. Well, now they can. They're not doing the Russia shit. Federal authorities are investigating possible Chinese intelligence operations targeting President Donald Trump and his private Palm Beach club. That's the second White House. It's not just a private club. Mar-a-Lago's, and if they got in there through our security, wow. Mar-a-Lago sources familiar with the never-before-reported investigation told the Miami Herald. And he, I believe, kept it there because It's the only place he had the most inside information on, his own building. That's scary when he has to go to that level to just protect yourself. All right. Federal authorities, the Federal Counterintelligence Probe was turbocharged on Saturday when U.S. Secret Service agents arrested a Chinese woman, Ying Zhang, after they said she tried to enter the club with a bevy of electronic devices, including a thumb drive infected with malware. The ongoing investigation is also recently focused on Lee Cindy Yang, the sources told the Herald. Yang is a South Florida massage parlor entrepreneur. Takes care of the stars, you know what I mean? Who has promoted events at Mar-a-Lago. Really? That's going to be an interesting dig, whoever goes into that one. Little rabbit hole for you there. I don't go into those. With ads targeting Chinese business executives. You got to take care of them too. They spend money like everybody else in the top tier, hoping to gain access to Trump and his family. The investigation, spearheaded by the FBI, began before the Herald revealed Yang's business of selling access last month and focused on other Chinese nationals doing business in the region. Yeah, well, they could work for the Senate for so long. I think she's on a committee too that was like high classified shit. Unbelievable. Not a damn word you hear about it afterwards either. Makes the news like on a Friday night when everybody's heading out, and by Monday it's long forgotten. Before her arrest, she was unknown to federal authorities. Now, investigators with the FBI Counterintelligence Division in South Florida are trying to figure out who she is. She's a spy. Whether she is involved in a possible Chinese intelligence mission, no. Yeah, no. Who else doesn't like this person in his hotels? Unlimited digital access. What the hell is this? Why am I reading that? Zhang was headed to a Mar-a-Lago event advertised on Chinese social media by Yang when she was arrested by federal. Thank God they're watching something. On charges of making a false statement to a federal officer and entering restricted property, according to a criminal complaint. She told conflicting stories about wanting to use the club's pool as well as hoping to discuss U.S.-China economic relations with a member of the president's family, court records say. That's her with them. So this is the mystery lady. Investigators are examining electronic equipment that was seized from Shang on Saturday, including a thumb drive, laptop. Oh, it's probably going to have a lot of info on it. One external hard drive and 4 cell phones. Yeah, that's not somebody sneaking around. They're attempting to determine what Zhang planned to do with the malware at Trump's club. Wow. Zhang, whose birth year is listed as 1986 in court records. Now, is this one of these people that came here on a visa that expired that nobody talks about? 1986 court records. She's been in court since 86 to become a citizen. Is that what this is going to turn into? Has not been charged with any crimes related to espionage. Her federal public defender did not immediately respond. Why? Well, if she's got court records from the 90s or 80s, then that's probably her immigration, to come in on a visa and then never got it followed up on. And she's been lost in the system since then. So if she's been a spy since back then, ooh boy. Yang has said, and she's been on no radar and no record whatsoever, so they don't even know she existed until she tried to go in there that night. This is what this news article says. Yang has said she's got no ties to China's government and does not personally know that. Why are you walking around with 5 cell phones? I know everybody does that, right? Yeah, you're not sneaky. In a statement Wednesday, a spokesman for Yang said our client has stated that she does not know. Yeah, of course not. She said Yang's attorney was not interested in speaking with the Herald. Yeah, of course, he's too big for them. Oh, but his arrest, her arrest, has alarmed congressional Democrat. Why? Because this was just in the news a few months ago with top senators with these kind of people, spies, in their cars, above whether the president's business interests could be exploited by foreign. Okay, so what, we're gonna have China now? China. Because they could flip this into, oh, he was letting her in, and then you got this whole new scandal that's going to be all bullshit. On Wednesday, a top Democrat in Washington called the FBI Director of National Intelligence to assess the risks posed by Mar-a-Lago's policy of admitting members of the public and foreign nationals while the president's family. That should not be allowed. That's a problem. Because if that wasn't allowed, then this never would have happened. Yeah, they got a good reason to wonder why he's allowing people in that building like that. There's your question right here. On Wednesday, top Democrats in Washington, if they weren't such babies, they could actually bring up a real topic. The risk posed by Mar-a-Lago's policy of admitting members of the public and foreign nationals while the president and his family are using the club. He uses the club as his second White House, so thus, until he's out of office, he can't have people going there that could be enemies of him. Not even a good idea. I mean, who thought this is a good policy? The apparent ease, yeah, the walk-in with thumb drives, yeah, the apparent ease. How many times have they done this? What about the cleaning crew that goes and cleans his bedroom at night? And they're sticking shit in computers in his room. Come on. The apparent ease with which... This is why he's supposed to stay in the White House. Just saying. The apparent ease... But that could be... See, he's worried about them bugging him there, so he wants to be in his own bugs. This is crazy. This game of how these guys play this is insane, man. Who would want this? The apparent ease at which she gained access to the facility during the president's weekend visit raises concerns about the system for screening visitors. Here comes the laws. Watch this. Including the reliance on determinations made by Mar-a-Lago employees, stated a letter from the Senate Intelligence Committee ranking member Mark whatever. It doesn't matter their names. These guys are all full of shit. You ever see that guy, that pit bull? He was going to be president, and everybody wanted him, not president, but everybody wanted him to run. The guy that looked like really mean, he had that buzz cut, he used to be a prosecutor, and then he was the head prosecutor going after the Hillary stuff. They blew so much smoke up our ass. But that, you could never take one of these jamokes serious again. These committees that investigate these bad people, right? All bullshit. You got the Fox investigating the Fox, investigating the Fox, investigating the Fox that's in the hen house. He'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. You could all go back to sleep and don't worry about it. And Chucky's going to jump in there and give you some little foot massage. He probably likes that. As the White House Communications Agency and Secret Service continue to establish several secure areas, they're just now doing this. It's been 3 years he's going there. All right, this has to be a joke, dude. Is this one of these punk channels? Hang on. Who's this? Miami Herald. Is this a real paper even? This sounds like a skit. There's no way he's stupid enough to not have cleared a section of his hotel that is considered White House 2, or whatever they call it, the backup White House, because he's there all winter. There's no safe spots in here. Oh, here's little Rubio. What's Ruby got to say? Senator Mark, how's this guy still got his job? This most corrupt, what do you call it? Not just the way he's pushed around like a little doll, and I'm sure he's used as one too. Florida Republican said it's too early for Congress to consider specific. Yeah, why not? Why do any action? Let them go in there and bug the whole place. The FBI will be looking into it. That's their job. You're telling the public that? Really? That's a stupid statement. Credibility problems lately. You can't turn to them as heroes, dude. Rubio has criticized Chinese when you're trying to do a coup in your own country. The leaders of that agency, really? Now they're on the case with another possible coup. Yeah, okay. This is disgusting. I can't even read this. This is so disgusting. This is why I don't get into politics anymore. These guys, it's all a joke, dude. It's all a joke. Yeah, they're gonna consider making a spot at White House backup where you could have classified information down the road, just in case he does any business there. You don't have a cleaning crew lady with a fucking thumb drive taking all his information, and then you see they're making new, brand new, what do you call it? That antenna farm. Is that how they're getting their shit? By having people go into his hotel and get the data right off his laptop? Is really? You just read that with me. You just saw what it said. Maybe you should tweet about that. I'm going to add a layer of security at White House 2. Oh my God, dude. Let's see what propaganda he's got here. Some of his stuff's good. Time is racist now. Good, good, good. I'm glad they finally figured that out. Rutgers professor Brittany Cooper. This is better than the news we were just reading about putting security at a place where your president hangs out at. A professor at Rutgers University, and these guys will still get their government money. Remember, he was going around, quit saying stuff like this, or we're not going to give you federal funding. Oh, wait, he said that with the sanctuary cities, too, and none of them got in trouble. Hey, what am I thinking? I was fooled, and I take responsibility for that. So it's not that you're bitter. You just get mad at yourself. It's like, tricked again. All right, professor at Rutgers University, who previously argued that Jesus was a queer, stated on NPR last week that the concept of time is owned by white people. Are you paying top dollar for your kid to go to college? Because this is who's teaching them. Rutgers University professor. I think Rutgers is pretty big too, right? Probably pretty expensive. Rutgers University professor Brittany Cooper is back with another hot take. This time, she's arguing that the modern conceptualization of time is racist. According to a report from the College Fix, Cooper, who once argued that Jesus was queer, spoke with NPR last week about how white people, quote, own time, end quote. This is what happens when you take God out of the question. When you remove God from your country and from your schools and from your society and from your people, this is what happens. In the interview, Cooper made the case that white Americans have solely been responsible for conceptualizing the notion of time. Quote, if time had a race, it would be white, end quote. Quote, Cooper said, quote, white people own time, end quote. After the this is NPR. This is also a government subsidized channel. After the NPR host asked her to explain that statement, Cooper offered a vague answer. She argued that Europeans developed a modern attitude about time. These psychos believe that. Do you hear what she's saying? She argued that Europeans developed a modern attitude about time, which is characterized by the amounts of time that is spent in leisure. What? Yes, so when I say time has a race, I am saying that the way we position ourselves in relationship to time comes out of histories of European and Western thought. And a lot of the way that we talk about time really finds its roots in the Industrial Revolution. So prior to that, we would talk about time as merely passing the time. After the Industrial Revolution, suddenly we begin to talk about time as spending time. It becomes something that is tethered to monetary value. Okay, here you go. This is where God would come in and tell you that it wouldn't be so bad as long as you don't worship the money. It's okay to make money. It's okay to pay taxes. It's okay to pay your share. And it's also okay to help your friends and family and community and so forth. But when you get rid of that policy, that God is the reason you're here, you go off on little tangents like this. That white men invented time. What are you, crazy? And that's a really different understanding of time than, like seasonal time. Or time that is sort of merely passing. That sounds like a psychopath. If you didn't know who just said that, you'd be like, I don't know who just wrote this. Tethered to monetary value. So, this is the world we're in now. Up is down, down is up. Time is white. And racist. Did she say that? Hang on. Did she say it was racist? Yeah, time is racist. Hang on. I don't remember that part of it. How did it become racist? Hang on. Did Time say something on a tweet? Does Time have a tweeter? If Time had a race, it would be white. But why is it racist? She didn't say that, did she? After NPR asked the statement, Cooper, unless it's so psychotic, I didn't understand it. Hang on. She argued that Europeans developed the modern. Where's the racist part come in? So yes, yes. So when I say time has a race, I'm saying that the way we position ourselves in relationship to time comes out of histories of European and Western thought. And a lot of the way that we talk about time really finds its roots in the Industrial Revolution. Does she even know what the Industrial Revolution is? Does she even know what came out of that? How many jobs maybe came out of it? Now, there's bad things too, but I don't see how that's... Considering how many people had to go by that time clock that worked in all those factories at near slave wage labor, I could see the greedy money part of what she's talking about, maybe in that little babble. But if money is tethered to your time, then that's on you. That's your problem. And I know rich people that are so rich it would make you sick, and they will pick the bones out of the meat. Like, you weigh the meat and you get it like At a grocery store, they have like the baked chicken or whatever, and you can pick pieces off and pay by the pound. This scumbag, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars, picks the bones out, throws them away because he can, because nobody's going to touch him. Nobody's going to arrest him for theft. Because in his sick world, that money is more important than the time wasted picking the bones out of the damn thing, possibly getting yourself sick if you didn't wash his hands. I mean, you could literally get sick from doing that. That's more important than paying 3 cents for the bones that were in your. This is how sick these assholes are. Another one was a bag lady pushing a cart worth millions. Millions. That's the opposite side of it, where you just refuse money so bad and refuse, I guess, your rich family to the point where you just give it all away or you never even accept you have it. So, I mean, money could take you to both ends of the scale. I know it's not going to solve anybody's problem. People think it does. It may make life easier for some people, that's for sure. But it doesn't get rid of daily problems, the problems of life, the problems of your health. Now, it could affect your health long term if you're poor for a long time and you have to eat McDonald's every day or dollar meal, let's say, every day. I don't want to just blame McDonald's. All the food's crap. All the fast food. It doesn't matter which one. That's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, being poor in that way, that will affect your health. But this psycho little rant does not explain to me how it's racist in any way. But I guess because she says it is, then we got to go with it, right? That's a Rutgers professor, by the way. See, this is why you don't pay money on ransoms. American kidnap on Ugandan safari. They want $500,000. These people think we're all rich. But see the purple? I don't like this picture right here. See this here? I don't know about that. That they picked that picture and made sure they put a purple blanket on the truck. That's a little weird. Anyways, this is going to be right-leaning news, but sometimes you get a good story out of here because he picks through some cool stuff. You got to ask yourself, all your people on the right that keep asking, why didn't he do anything when he had the Congress in his pocket and he could have passed all these immigration things and built the wall? He could have done everything. Well, there's a reason they don't. And whether you like it or not, that's on you again. But when this guy here is trying to increase legal immigration, what they are saying is Americans are not having enough kids. So his best friends own businesses. That's important to him. You're not. So this isn't about you. This isn't about your wall, because that's never going to happen. This has nothing to do with any of that. This has to do with getting jobs filled later. These guys work on 50, 100-year plans. So what they're doing now is for the next generation. So they need more workers. That's what they're saying here. When they want to increase legal immigration now, the guy who ran on blocking like all immigration is now saying, I want legal immigration and more of it. That's because his friends own companies. And all you guys who keep telling people, yeah, capitalism, this, capitalism. Okay, it works when you own all the manufacturing plants. It works then. But at some point, the money ended up in China. It started with the Clintons, with the NAFTA, and then rolled on and on and on and on. And Bush was part of it, and then the other bozo was part of it, and now we got the current guy. All those heads of state, you could just replace them with each other. It doesn't matter who's up there. The same agenda is going to keep rolling. It don't matter. So don't get upset if your person maybe lets you down. That's their job. Okay. See, a lot of you don't even have to read the news. You could just watch Sessions wipe crazy Joe Biden's hand away from his granddaughter. Yeah, we've seen this video hundreds of times. Jeff Sessions was the Attorney General, and I believe he was the Attorney General at the time. Or it might have been before, but I think he was. And Joe was getting a little touchy-feely there, and Sessions like, no, I don't need your money, and I don't need your positions or connections, and you're not that important to me, so get your hands off my granddaughter. And hooray to a man who stopped a thing from touching his flesh and blood. We need more men, is what I'm trying to say. U.S. expands catch and release. So here you hear in one corner, these are all right-sided stories. They're going after, but then they don't have room. Now they're letting them all go. It's a constant smoke and mirror scam. So don't even pay. This is to ignore the real shit that they don't want you looking at. So that's why I look at all sides of news, because you want to see what everybody is in this little chess game is doing. See, this guy is saying the Constitution is scrubbed in California. We don't care about your... And I think it pretty much is. I think those days are over. The Constitution and all that crap. It's been shit on so much that it's just a piece of toilet paper now. When California keeps wiping their ass with it and not a damn thing is done about it, that's a clue. It's a big clue, because all these idiots are now running from California to good states that used to be low tax and right-sided thinking, like Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico. You're getting all this runoff. These people are going to flee with the tax rates they're putting on and then now by 2045, there's like no carbon's going to be allowed anymore. The governor, the last idiot, signed. They're signing laws left and right that cannot be fulfilled. It's going to cost a fortune to anybody who tries to run a business out there. So the only ones left that could afford it are your Twitters and a few handful of them. So you have $1 million houses, and even in the projects where nobody can even afford to live. Then what happens? So once these handful of companies run everything, then what are you going to do? You know, are they going to clean up California and move in their friends? Like we just saw, there's a weird law from the 1800s that's allowing the land that was purchased by Saudi princes to grow as much feed for their own cows at home, where they can't grow it in the desert. You can't grow grass in the desert. So what do? You buy up California's prime real estate that's exempt from the law, and you take out of the Colorado River, I think it was, and you drain it freaking dry. So the citizens of California aren't getting access to that water, but the horses are eating grass from the unlimited amount they're allowed to take out of that river to feed the grass, so they can cut it and ship it back home. China's buying land like crazy all over the world as well, or they trade it. We'll give you this in exchange for a land lease for 100 years on areas where they can grow shit. So China was smart. Back in 2000s, there was a book called Life After Bush. Guy was an administrator for or whatever, and he's a civilian side of like analyzing governments or whatever, military. And he was at a speech that we were at, and he gave a speech about how China is, back then, this is 10 years ago, this is before any of all this shit's been brewing around. He was saying China's got like a 100-year plan, and they'll just wait it out. They've been rulers of the world before. They'll wait. They're waiting their turn, and They were currently back then taking up the land. If you like take Nebraska and Iowa, our farm belt, and you run that line all the way around the planet, everywhere on that line all the way around has got usually good farming area, something to do with that height off the, from the center of the world or whatever. So they went in and started buying up that land or locking it down. They give a country big money. Here's some money. Leave it. We're not going to get involved in your politics. You do whatever you guys want. We just want to rent this property. That's it. And they went in and did it. Well, we see Saudi's got a bunch of land in California that's just destroying the water table. China's got their land there, and then what? After you give away a lot of these land grabs, you see these companies or people that had land rights to old mines that they come in and the EPA will go, oh wait, you're spitting out poison into the whatever, and then they shut them down. And then it turns out the land gets handed over to Prince so-and-so and this so-and-so. And then they get the land right from underneath the people whose family have had it since the 1600s. Hey, it's all right. So that stuff's going on. But see, if it doesn't affect you, you really don't care, do you? I'm not saying I'm not one of those either. I just report on it, and when you start seeing all the pieces of what's going on and the land being given away, and then this guy seriously wants to run for president? Come on. 2020 presidential election. Joe Biden advisors smell a conspiracy. See how they use his name? Conspiracy. Some blame Sanders camp. So they're going to say the conspiracy is him being touchy-feely. Let's see. Look how they're trying to spin this. You got one group trying to take him down. Because this is all exposed. This was exposed even in the last election. This is 3 years old, this stuff. Everybody knows this. And now it's mainstream news is covering it, like Joe Biden recently was grabbing these kids. Those are old videos, man. And they keep saying it's women. It's kids. They won't go far enough to say, let's show you this video and that video. They won't show it. Joe Biden advisors believe coverage of allegations of inappropriate behavior. You could watch these videos yourself. It's not coverage. It's not allegations. You can see it. And it's not about kissing 50-year-old women. It's about kids. Oh. Like the Jeff Sessions one where he pushes his hands off his granddaughter. That's what they're talking about. I got this text last night. It says, last night from a source close to Biden, VP directed staff this evening to reach out to supporters and donors with a simple message: full steam ahead. So he's going forward. He knows he'll get away with this shit. Then nobody's gonna care. He told Harper, rub noses 29. So he's moving forward. He'll probably get a lot of votes too. This is the problem with hiding from everything. When you just ignore it, it's still there. It's actually right in your face. Jeff Zucker wants to run for New York City mayor. He belongs there. Woman is feared to have irreversible brain damage after going on a 3-week fruit juice diet. Wow. Gotta be careful with these diets, people. Every person has a different body. You know what I mean? So, like, if something works for me, it may not work for you. Don't just jump into something like that. That's scary, man. They said, I just heard last night that Moab thing, I don't know if this prick was in there yet or not. This neo warmonger, he's been that way for years. They said, and the White House is running around now trying to cover a lot of this news up, that the president gave like generals authority to do what they want. They don't have to ask him as much, etc. He wanted to be open with his general, whatever it is. So when that Moab thing went off, I think it was in Syria, they didn't even tell him. That's what the word is right now. So that was, he saw it in the news. He didn't know they were going to do it. He didn't know they set it off. There's really no video of it either, but allegedly they did it, and he got a little mad that nobody told him. And if that is all true, guys like this are running the show. White House National Security Advisor John Bolton. Do you remember all the times that guy was on Fox News? Just wanting war, more war, more war, more. Gotta go to Syria. They did the chemical thing. They did this. They did that. We need war. Anywhere he could get his little dirty hands on a war, he was always saying we gotta go there. He won't go there. He won't go put a gun on and fight. No, they'll send your kids to. He's expanding his influence in increasingly visible ways. Yeah, well, bad timing with an election coming up, so Trump better clean his house up again. Pursuing his own long-standing foreign policy priorities at the risk of tensions with top administrators. Where's this guy getting the balls to step on the president's shoes? He works for him. He supposedly, right? Maybe he doesn't. An example spilled into the public eye a week ago when the irked Trump cryptically announced, cryptically, I love his cryptic tweets, announced on Twitter he'd undo some North Korea-related sanctions blessed by Bolton. So now he's going to punish Bolton in public. He thinks. But who is Bolton's master? Not him. The president's decision was quickly walked back. See that? Who's your master? Step back. Okay, I will. And those sanctions remained in place. So Bolton cried to whoever his boss is, which is over Trump. And they told Trump, sit your ass back down. And he did. Yes, master. There it is, right there. Whether you are for, against, this, that, you believe there's a left and a right and all this bullshit, there's not. There's somebody at the top. And we just saw it right here. He sidestepped his boss, supposed boss, which is your president, and got him to keep his little mouth quiet. He even got him to stop tweeting about it. Since joining Trump's White House, Bolton has pursued an agenda that includes trying to break Iran financially, oust Venezuelan President Maduro, shield Americans from the reach of the International Criminal Court, and toughen the U.S. posture towards Russia. He coordinates with key lawmakers, everybody but the president, his boss. He don't give a shit what the president says. And he showed it. And he spanked him in public. The president tried to embarrass him by saying, I'm going to overturn, and he says him by name, some of Bolton, who I appointed, by the way, some of his little sanctions. And Bolton goes, no, you're not. Sit your ass back down. And he did. Right here. Bolton, who's 70, has meanwhile adopted an increasingly public profile on Twitter himself. Was he going to run for president now? Trump's social media platform of choice. I wonder why. Who owns Twitter? He's the boss of the company that owns Twitter, that invented Twitter. Get it? Of course he's going to use Twitter. This story is based on interviews with lawmakers and several current and former White House whom asked not to be identified. So, all this might be bullshit. That's what that means. Thank you, Yahoo News. Matter of fact, it probably is all bullshit because there's no reporter's name in this news. But I assumed if Michael Savage picked this out, he would verify. So I have to guess as of right now. Now I gotta look it up. Did Bolton? Well, here you can verify. I'm gonna verify. If this part is true, then we're good. I don't like the fact there's no news writer, and at the very end they go, "It's all top secret." Who told us all this? That shit's getting old. Getting old real quick. Yeah, we got a source, but we can't tell you. And one last look at the news. I'd go over those cameras, but they're just a waste of time now. They're fixing them all. He's going to be more respectful to women. What about the children? Accusations pile up. These were accusations 3 years. This is not new news. This is old news. I don't get it. Somebody's out after him. Oh, they won't let this shit up. Mueller report more damaging than revealed. No, it's not. Nope. Maybe if you did tax fraud or something and you were in the middle of that investigation, it will be for those people, but nothing to do with the Russia thing. What will MSNBC do without special counsel? Yeah, they gotta find something new quick. Veteran MLB umpire under fire over temper tantrums. Ooh. NYPD secret standoff weapon. What is this? Simple length of a rope. The New York City Police Department has all the latest crime fighting tools. Body camera, algorithm, even drones. But it is now widely deployed a far simpler technology, a 5.5-foot piece of rope to help officers deal with one of the diciest kind of calls. The department this year started training all 35,000 officers in a technique. Ferrets up. In a technique. Where'd it go? Using a length of rope to secure the door of a home where a distressed person is threatening harm, temporarily trapping them until backup arrives. The rope makes it virtually impossible for the person inside to burst through the door and cause harm. Shelter in place, huh? The idea, commander said, is to avoid having gun-toting officers. This is what his commander said? No, they didn't say this. The idea, commanders said, this is what happens when you don't have any sources. It is to avoid having no commander is going to call his own cops gun-toting officers. No way. Perhaps only lightly trained. If you have officers that are lightly trained in dealing with mental subjects, when most of your job is dealing with mental subjects, that's a problem. And that's why you would have gun-toting officers that think legally they're justified, legally they're exempt, legally they're immune, legally all this other crap. So you can get pulled over for a taillight out. If they shoot you and word it correctly, nothing will happen. That's a fact. In the same adrenaline-charged space, but go do the job they do when the shit hits the fan. So you gotta, like, where do you draw the line? I don't know. In the same adrenaline-charged space as someone acting irrationally, where the police, it used to be taught, police are not allowed to be upset by anybody. It was a law, basically, in Illinois. You could not cite disorderly conduct and have a cop be the person signing the complaint, because the police officer can't be offended. But now you see cops arresting people for giving the finger. I wouldn't have looked twice at anybody who did that. I don't even get it. You must respect the authority, like the South Park makes fun of. It's changed. Just because she's waving a kitchen knife doesn't mean she wants to kill you either. I've been there. You got a woman on the other side of a counter with a kitchen knife. Legally, you could have shot her. Did we? No. Talk to her. Kept the distance. If she came at me, I'd close the door and run out in the hallway where she couldn't hurt me. Didn't have to shoot her. Today, they'd shoot her. Because they can. That's not why you get to shoot somebody. Just because you can legally doesn't mean you have to. Officers Jesse Trapp and Paulton Chan used the rope last month. This is how cops that have gone down to your bosses have to give you a rope? To a call of a person in distress who had holed up in a Brooklyn apartment. The door was chained, but the officers were able to see that the man had an object that looked like a gun, remembering a demonstration a sergeant had given them a few weeks earlier. They tied the rope. Do you know, while you're dicking around trying to tie this rope to that door handle, one, you're probably standing in front of the door, which is deadly as F. Back up. That's all you gotta do. Back up. If he goes nuts in the hallway and charges you from your position that you're hiding behind, then you gotta do something. Then you don't have a choice. But this is nuts. A piece of rope saves the day, but puts a cop at risk just to put it on there. This is where these commanders haven't been on the street in a long time, I bet, if this is what they think is a good idea. Quote, they gave us time to call for backup. That gave us time to call for backup and gave us time to reassess the situation. We don't want the distressed person inside to hurt himself, so we'll kill him. That happens all the time. That exact sentence. We did not want this person to kill himself, so we did. Okay. Same result. Chan held the rope while Trapp tried to speak with the man. He's holding a gun. You think he has a gun. You stated you saw a gun. And you're dicking around tying the front door where that gun can go through a door in a second. There's nothing but particle board indoors. I'm not even reading the rest of this. If this is the new officer, this is how you're fixing police work? Giving a street cop a piece of rope? When there's an armed person behind that door, he's supposed to sit there, bend down, tie this piece of rope, stand there within 5 feet of the door, because the rope's only 5 feet long. Probably going to be 4 once you wrap it around your wrist, and then you get the piece around the door. You're probably down to 3-4 feet. That puts you right in the target of that gun coming through that frickin' door. That's a good idea? Shame on these commanders. If this is true, I doubt it's true. Except they got pictures of them practicing it. Oh shit. This is your top brass. There's a sergeant and 2 white shirts next to him. This is your, each one of them making a buck 50 probably, 150 grand, 150 grand, 100 grand. That's New York money. There's 300-400 grand standing right there in that room with a 5-foot long solution. Let me ask you as a civilian. You're these 2 jamokes on the left. That guy on the right's got a gun, you think, because you think you saw it. Do you think that's the best tactical way to be standing? With just a little bit of drywall? Do you see how thick this drywall is? About, what, 3/8 of an inch? There's nothing in between it. You might have a 2x4 every 16 inches. So if you get lucky, the bullet will hit a 2x4 and ricochet away from you. But if it don't, a bullet goes through drywall pretty easy. And that little shitty door, forget about it. And they're this looks like the New York police are publishing this as like some, boy, those street cops gotta be pissed. There's your tool, a piece of rope. If that symbolically doesn't tell you something, I can't even read that article. This is Wag Chicago. This is disgusting. I'm out of here.